I'm not making like really complex music with like layers and layers of different stuff.
Mm.
And I think for me it's like it works really well, to be honest.
Well, just as an observation, because I've heard your stuff only a couple of times, but like I'm playing a band, and we got 3 albums or whatever, you know. But I sometimes think with the stuff that there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
And what's nice about what you do, because you're doing it from a kind of feeling your way kind of way, then it's not, you know, it's not overladen with stuff, and there's plenty of space. And
Yeah.
that's really good.
Thank you. I just don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I have all the gear and no idea.
Great.
And I just think the only way to get better at doing it is by
Yeah.
just again. And like the first two songs I sent you, I'm in the process of like well, one of them I've actually like cleaned up a bit and made it not so, because I always find it as this like but this fuzz sound. So I found a way to get rid of it. So I've done that with the Spanish man, and I'm in the process of cleaning up the other one and just polishing it up so it's
Mm.
just sound so
And in
like
terms of the practicalities of the house,
yeah.
so is that like a certain, is it weekend you do this? Do you do it in the evenings? Can you make any noise? You know, I don't know.
Oh, so I do it when I can. I work full time as a waitress, so I'm working. I usually finish either I work 7 a.m. till 3 p.m. or I work 9 till 6. So I'll do it all throughout the evening until my parents go to bed about 11 and then I'll stop then. But
Yeah.
like the day before yesterday, I come home at 3 o'clock and I recorded Dreamcatcher, and I did it in like one massive session because I was just so like I just wanted to do it, and I was actually really like I had lots of enthusiasm and motivation to do it, and I finished at 11 p.m. so I was recording for 7 hours.
Yeah, it's you lose yourself, don't you?
Yeah,
You start doing something. Blimey, it's at the time, you know. It's
I
kind
looked at the time, I was like, I can't believe I've
of
been doing this for 7 hours, but I did get I think I got a really good result out of
No, it
it.
sounds let's talk about that song then. So tell me, it's a great title. Um, what's going on in that song?
Dreamcatcher.
Mm.
So, I actually didn't write that song about. I remember writing this song, and I had writer's block so bad, and I couldn't write a song for the life of me. And I was sat literally by here. I was like, I can't write a song. I can't write a song. And I look above me, right? And I obviously you can't see, but above me, in front of me, is a massive dream catcher, right?
Oh yeah,
And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna write a song about a dream catcher and like how it
nice.
what what do you do? How do you like take my bad dreams away and stuff like that, and tell me how you do it? And it's supposed to,
Wow.
if you can take the bad things out of my dreams, tell me the recipe so I can take the bad things out of my life or whatever. So that was just what sort of what it was supposed to be about. But yeah, I really like that song, to be honest. It's
Yeah, I liked it at first listen straight away. Yeah,
I think it comes across as quite chill, like
yeah.
well,
Again, it's very tuneful.
yeah, very laid back.
Yeah, which is nice. So yeah, t tell me about the other two songs that I've heard then, because what we'll probably do, we'll chop them in to the interview somewhere. So
Yeah, that's fine.
Spanish Man is an interesting title. So did you meet a Spanish man?
I did not meet a Spanish man. It was about so the line is um I can't wait to leave this town and find myself in another land. No, I won't miss call, just forget it all and find my place in the sand holding hands with a Spanish man. It's
Ah,
like that's the line. And
yeah,
I really like the line. So I just put Spanish man as the title because I don't know, I thought it was kind of a bit intriguing. If you've seen the title, it would be like, are you
yeah.
writing about a Spanish man? And then you'd listen to it and you'd find out that it's not about a Spanish man really, but it's yeah, it's about falling in love, and it's about being a bit scared and being like, oh my god, this is going to be a mess, like maybe having a quite a bad a negative perception of like, oh no, I'm falling in love, sort of, rather than like, oh, I'm falling in love, like a good thing. It's supposed to be about how like, oh, I don't know if I actually want to feel like this, and it's all about how like um maybe you have other plans in your life and they have other plans, and
Yeah.
it's about how maybe it shouldn't really work out, and sort of that's how the song is supposed to be good to come
So
across.
there's a lot going on in that song, and but you're 20, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you know, you're young. Um, you've got the songs. You, got a fairly good image going on from what I've seen as well. Um, have you tried sending stuff off yet? Trying to get any interest?
Yeah, so I've just actually like just after I finish this interview, I'm about to send my song Dreamcatcher to BBC Introducing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I mean, it's a long shot, but I thought I'd
Is
give
this the first time one you've sent
it. Yeah,
there?
this is the first one that I
Okay.
will. But and my dad suggested it to me last night, and I
Yeah,
think
your dad's right.
it's a good idea. Maybe it might not. It probably. Well, I mean, we don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've sent quite a few songs to BBC Introduced, and I've never had any airplay actually. I don't think my songs are terrible, but they might know I'm an old geezer. But in your case, you're not an old geezer, so you might get some airplay. But that would go to Hugh Stevens and those kind of people, won't it? And yeah, so good luck with that. And I think you've got a fair chance. And actually, they playlist Welsh artists. That's a nice story as well. That it's I'm trying to think. There's another artist I'm quite interested in at the moment called Nancy Williams.
Oh, I've never heard
So
of it.
if you Google Nancy Williams, so Nancy Williams, she's been looked after by a guy called Johnny Owen. So Johnny Owen has been in films, TVs, and production. He's radio, done all kinds of stuff. And his wife is quite a famous actress. Anyway, she's a 17-year-old. She's from Merthyr, and she's managed to get some airplay. Radio Wales played some of her stuff. Um, and I think, yeah, I think you're local, you're young, and everything. I think you may well get some interest with that. So, also when I was a kid, I was younger than you probably. One of my first songs I ever wrote was called "Living in a Spanish Dream," and I still don't know why.
Yeah, sometimes I don't even know what I'm writing about, or like one verse will be about one thing, and the other verse
Yeah,
will be about completely different
it's a
things, and
good
it
title.
just doesn't really like just anything really. I'll write about anything.
Tell me about Too Many Questions, because again, that's another good title.
Um, so the song is about um the whole concept of me being a very what if person. I'm like, oh my God, like what if this
Right?
happens? And I'm quite like I guess scared about a lot of stuff. So it was all about, oh, like, um, what if something happens to you? Like, what if something happens to me? Are we gonna get like over it and stuff? And the chorus is about like, um, feeling like um, I spend a lot of my time dreaming about doing things, um, but not actually knowing if I'll ever get there. And it's not because I am lazy and stuff like that. Um, it's just because I'm so scared of it not working out that I sort of come up with a million other plans to so that that's not my main focus, whereas I should just focus on the thing I want to do. And it's quite a complex, like I'm explaining it and I'm thinking, oh my God. But
There's a lot
yeah,
going on there, isn't
that's
Yeah.
what it
Hmm.
that was my thought process, but it's long.
So yeah. So I think you need to hit the ground while you're young. I would say. I don't mean that in a way. In like 3 years' time it'd be too late. I don't mean that, but I mean it's a really good time for you to start the ball rolling now, sort of thing. I mentioned a guy you might want to connect with, a guy called Luke Jones.
Joe.
So Luke Jones, he's got a podcast series called "Where Is My Hit Single,"
All right.
and he knows the music business inside out and backwards.
Really?
He's really, really well connected. His wife is also has a podcast series, and he's a podcast producer as well as a music producer. And he travels around the world producing her podcasts. They stay in all these big posh hotels for nothing, and he just travels around the world. But yeah, that's his life. That's fine. He's away again at the moment, actually. But he knows me, so you could mention Luke Jones from Where's My Hit Single. It's a really popular podcast. I think you should contact him,
I would love.
and he'll know other people. He really seriously knows the music business really, 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 really well. I want to ask you a couple of questions. So towards the end of this, really. What before I was going to ask you what motivates you, right? So let's park that one up for now. But So I'll do it this way. So when you're working, right, you're in this cafe and you're like, go, here's your meal, sir, whatever, would you like a drink with that? Like anything else? All that, yeah. So while you're going around, like most people, something like 85% of our mind is the subconscious. It's a really powerful thing. So I'm guessing while you're doing that, I'm sure are these songs going through your head? Are you coming up with ideas all the time, sort of thing?
Always. I don't even think when I'm in work, I'm not even there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's subconscious.
I just, I sing. So I actually, one of my colleagues came up to me the other day, and she was like, "You don't ever stop singing in work, and it's so annoying." And I'm like, I can't help it. I'm just singing. I'm not even singing anything that makes any sense. Probably, I'm just singing all the time and stuff like that. And I've always got ideas going in my head. Like my idea, I was obviously taking a video to promote my EP that's coming out this 28th of February. And I actually come up with the idea while I was in work and like filming it and what I wanted it to um, be because the idea was that I would be producing and the camera would go up to the dream catcher on my wall
Ah,
and then the screen goes black and then the line dream of the dream catcher starts
nice.
off. And I made that the other day, so that's come out and
Is your
like
dream catcher in the room with you now?
yes,
Can you show me?
I will get off the wall. Give me some. This is my dream.
Yeah, it's almost exactly the same one my daughter had.
Yeah,
Very, very similar design.
very dusty. I can't lie, but yeah,
That's a beautiful thing. Yeah, I think she's still got it in. I think it might be in her cupboard somewhere, actually. So that will be in the video, yeah?
yeah, that's in the video. Yeah,
Cool. And what's the EP called?
Dreamcatcher's the Dreamcatcher. The EP is called All Before 20
Okay,
because it's about all the lessons and all the songs that I wrote before I was 20 years old. So
brilliant. That's a lovely title.
I
You want to start. It's good that you're sending off the song when you finish talking to me. I mean, obviously this will be plugging you as well. I think what I'll do with this is, if it's okay with you, I might well use it for, and I know it won't be a problem with YYFM. I may well also use it on Keep Cardiff Live,
okay, yeah.
which is a platform all about music in Wales. It's a really cool site actually. Keepcardifflive.com. I'll put it on there as well. So the motivation, effectively, as I see it, is you've just got a head full of stuff and you kind of need to write.
Yeah, that's how I like process things. So I have an issue, and instead of crying about it, I'll write about it because it's
Yeah,
like get it out, and I think it's like
exactly. I was at a funeral yesterday, actually, of a really unusual guy who just passed away. And this is slightly off topic, but in a way it isn't. It really isn't, really. So it was a religious festival at a crematorium. And the vicar, I told my other daughter about this yesterday. It strikes me that hopefully you haven't been through many funerals yet.
I
I hope,
haven't
because they're not
just
nice. But the vicar seems to me the vicar deliberately upsets people. Right. I know accused vicars of deliberately upsetting people at funerals. And I think for that reason it's a cathartic release. And that's what you're talking about with your songwriting.
oh, that's interesting actually. Yeah, that's I see
Give
a
me a song idea, aren't there?
yeah, right. The next one will be about will be about that now. But yeah, that seems to make sense actually.
And it's also very creative. So and I'll come back to a final question which will relate to this one. But in terms of creativity, right? We talked about catharsis and whatever, songwriting, motivations, etc. As a 20-year-old in 2025, how important do you think it is that and with AI coming and everything else, that as human beings, we retain our kind of innate um ability to be creative?
Oh, it's so important. I think we wouldn't ever want to lose that, and I think with the stuff that's like AI and stuff like that, I think is quite like
A big
scary.
worry. Yeah.
Um, and will creativity will be wiped because like when things are just being created for us, then we'll lose our ability to be able to do it ourselves. And I just think it's really important to retain it in like the coming decades or whatever, because that's
Yep.
what makes us original and makes us that's what we celebrate with each other. So I think it's quite important to keep that a thing you
And do
know
you think, as a songwriter and as a young songwriter, um, do you actually even think about that? About, like AI and auto tune and all the rest of it, and how you can just like you could put Dreamcatcher into, some chatbot or whatever, couldn't you? And
yeah
it'll come up with a lyric for you,
yeah but I would actually not do that, because I if I did that,
Yeah, I'm not saying you would, but I mean, it's like a challenge, isn't it?
yeah um I think I don't know. I feel like doing stuff like that takes away the authenticity of the song, and like, you know, is it really your song if you're like, putting it through
I
them?
would say I would say no.
No, I would say no.
Yeah.
Uh, but also feel like you should be able to use the tools that you're given, and so in a way I do like for example, things like GarageBand weren't around, you know, however many years ago, 50 years ago or whatever.
Probably 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, but would they say the same about things like GarageBand and stuff that we use now? I don't know if that would, you know.
Yeah.
But
That's
I'm not sure, really. But it's an interesting
yeah.
conversation.
I mean, GarageBand, it's kind of it's just it's a tool. I mean, you can use some of the sounds within your songs, but you're still creating the
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, you're right, actually.
and it's a tool, whereas AI is like a virtual creative blob.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't even know. I tend to stay away from that sort of thing because I just don't really see the point of it, really.
No, no.
Like, just removes all
Yeah.
creativeness
I,
out.
I'm putting it out there because I kind of see it for one of the challenges, actually, really for the future of music and songwriting myself. But how do you see the challenges for you at this point? And what are your plans for the next sort of, like 3 to 5 years? Or is there a plan?
Um, so I am going to try and get a bit better at producing. Because I do find it hard and I don't know
It is
everything.
hard.
And I think the only way I can do that is by just doing it all the time, over and over again, until I
Yeah.
am like, I think I've cracked it. And I do find it quite like challenging to, actually record and produce a song, more so than I actually find writing it anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but for the future, I think I'm just planning on getting as much gigs, as many people to listen to my songs, then I can, as many people to, help me out and try and, you know, like, I've had like a couple of producers get in contact. They want to like collab and stuff, which is quite interesting because considering I don't know what I'm doing, they probably could help me, and stuff like that. So I think I'm just gonna literally try and push this thing as far as I can and see what comes out of it at the end. If it's nothing, then it's nothing. Then it doesn't matter. But
That's exactly the right attitude, actually. I'm just thinking while you're talking there, I can remember another guy. I'll try and remember his name for you. I'll show you. I'll send you the link. He's involved as a plugger in music and has had a lot of airplay on Radio Wales, actually. So I'll try and remember that. But in the meantime, from my studio to your studio, thank you for talking to us today. I'm sure you've got better kit than me, but there you go. Good luck with everything. Good
thank you.
luck with the EP on 28th of February. And if there's anything YYFM can ever, or keep Cardiff live, have a look at both sites, by the way.
Okay.
Anything we can do for you, let us know.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me. Goodbye.